Good afternoon and welcome to the first half of day 2 of the conference being organized by Security Watch India here at New Delhi, the Lalit Hotel. With me is Brigadier B K Ponwar, who has had a distinguished career with the Indian Army, and currently his experience and his expertise is being utilized by the government of Chhattisgarh to train their police forces and state government forces to combat the militancy and the Naxalite movement that's happening over there, the insurgency movement that's happening over there. Welcome to the conference, Brigadier Ponwar.
Thank you very much.
Sir,
Delighted.
Thank you for that lovely presentation you made earlier during the day. We'd like to know, sir, Chhattisgarh is stated to be the power hub of India.
Yes.
Coming as it is with its rich mineral resources, yes, and the fact that it is at the crossroads of, yes, 4 different power regions in India,
yes,
and that there will always be a threat to infrastructure,
yes,
whether it is blowing up railway tracks, or, yes, power lines, or attacking, yes, stations, power, yes, stations and civilian populations.
Yes.
What is the strategy that we can evolve so that all civilians can also be part of a combined strategy in the war against terror?
The first and foremost in this warfare, the population is the center of gravity. Whichever side the population sways, that side normally wins. It has been seen in Punjab, in Mizoram, in Nagaland. You can imagine which side the population on in Iraq and Afghanistan. So the people have got to be indoctrinated into the surveillance systems where in any unusual activity they can inform the nearest policeman. And in continuation, the policeman is the first armed response to a terrorist, for which he has got to be fully trained, he's got to be combatized. Otherwise, his response will not be appropriate and the terrorist will do his job in 2 to 3 seconds and he'll be on his way, and there'll be great loss to our country and personal and infrastructure and other things. So the policeman has got to be combatized. That is exactly what I'm doing in my college, to changing the police thinking from conventional policing, which is law and order and riot control and FIR related, to an offensive kind of work where he keeps intelligence foremost in his mind. Then he faces a 360 degrees battlefield. He has a human approach to people, and very importantly, he's a facilitator for development work in those remote areas. He can provide incidental protection. And for all this, his reorientation has to take place. He is no more going to sit in the police station and wait for somebody to come and lodge an FIR. I mean, that apart, that has to be done in any case. But he has to also ensure the protection of the police station and be proactive and seek the gorilla out from his own den, take him out from the jungles and establish authority of the government of India where it is not prevailing in many of these places, like in Abu Jmad area in the districts of Dantewada, Bijapur and Lehre and Garchiroli of Maharashtra, and some of them in Andhra Pradesh. So he has to do a creeping reoccupation of territory and establish so that development work can start.
So one of the difficulties that policemen face is that they have the families living within the state and in close proximity to areas where Naxalites or those people, insurgents, normally operate. So how does the policeman really protect his family, ensure that at the end of the day when he goes back into civies,
yes,
his family is protected? At the same time, he can be bold enough to, think out of the box and, for, yes, example, track these people, yes, down, like you said.
So there have got to be 2 such tenures. One is the peace tenure where the families live. That can be in the cities and towns where housing should come up. And the other is the field tenure. That is where he is alone by himself. He is doing combat work. He's in battle. When he's in battle, you can't have families, pressures and children, other things. That should be looked after by somebody else, just like it is done in the army. We have several separated family accommodations, and these accommodations should come up in big towns where all the facilities of growing up, bringing up children are available.
So, given the fact that the police and the military really rarely come together in synergy, in fact, when it comes to training, except maybe at the NSG and very elitist command and control centers and training centers, what do you foresee? Do you think that the initiative of the Chhattisgarh government is showing a change in a paradigm shift of states actually now understanding that the military tactics and training also need to be used for police forces?
It is counter-guerrilla warfare, and to knock out a guerrilla, you've got to learn this warfare. And that is what we are aiming to teach our people, because that is the threat which is prevalent in the remote areas of Chhattisgarh where the Naxal domination is. And they are being trained that way, and this is multiplying. I've had people from 7 to 8 states coming to my place, and they're all knocking at the doors. We want vacancies. In fact, the Home Ministry's forces, the BSF and others are also doing a capsule of reorientation of 15-20 days with us, and they're going on.
So, as far as civilians are concerned, what do you think is the role of the Salwa Judum and how much success have they achieved thus far and what kind of successes can they aim for in future?
I have mentioned that population is the center of gravity, and one of the best things which has happened in Chhattisgarh is this Salvachurum, where the population themselves has said enough is enough. We are not going to support the Naxal movement because they are leading us in the wrong path. And good about 60,000 people came to the other side, came to our side, and they said we will not support the Naxal movement. Their boys and girls have been recruited. They've been made SPOs who are giving tremendous information of terrain, of routes, and the Naxalites. After all, Naxalites are criminals. They are creating, they're extorting money. They're killing people. They're blowing up national assets. They're not letting development work take place. What is the meaning of this? So the Salwa Jurum is a very fine thing which has happened, and I recommend that more and more areas should do similar activity what has been done in Chhattisgarh. That should carry on.
So, some people have suggested the strategy of a decapitating strike, as in taking out the top leadership of an insurgency movement, and that will take some of the wind out of the movement. Do you think that is a good idea, or is it like a grassroots thing that has to work from bottom upwards?
It is the people, the entire population should say, no, we will not follow this. Once that happens, leadership will have to follow through. The entire Mizoram people said, enough is enough. Laldenga said, okay, we have to surrender. Nagas said, we don't want all this thing. There is enough. The Nagas, NSA and IM are under ceasefire, and they're talking since 1997. 40 years of insurgency has almost come to an end. Same thing happened in Punjab. In fact, Punjab, it became very quick, because when Punjab problem was there, the Punjabi, the Sardar Sahibs thought that their children will never see London and California if this happens, this continues, because national, international examinations, they will not be able to participate, their schools are not functional, they are not having healthy living, their farms are not producing enough rice and wheat, their economy is going down. They said, we don't want all this. I was in Punjab, I was in Moga Tehsil, Bindrawale's village, Rode was under my responsibility. I met that Akali Dal Baba group leader, Harcharan Singh Rode, and asked him about the Punjab problem. He mentioned that a lot of people came here, bade log aaye, Sahab Janal Malhotra Sahab aaye, istifa de gaye tur pe. Maine kaha, I have come here to resolve a conflict. I will only go when the problem is over and peace prevails. And we conducted elections. Mr. Ben Singh became the chief minister, and we left. Everyone was weeping. Everyone gave us sweets to say that they bid us farewell. That is how we should establish authority, that whole people line up on the side of the roads and say 3 cheers. That's how we entered Dhaka on 16 December. I'm going now after 2 days to celebrate the battle on Jamalpur on 11th of December. That's how we entered. Everyone is saying Indian Army, Zindabad, Indian Army, Zindabad. That is victory. That is how it should happen.
So finally, what is the role of leadership? Political leadership, the military leadership, the police leadership, and the citizenry leadership in ensuring that something like this comes together and works fruitfully?
You have to orchestrate a political, military, socio-economic, psychological counter-Naxal campaign. And this orchestra commander has to be the chief minister in a state and at the home ministry and at the government level, for which everyone has to play his part. Everyone plays his part. It has to be a synergized effort. You cannot say it's only a political problem. You cannot say it's a socio-economic problem. You cannot say it's a military problem. It is all combined into one. The railway engine, being the security forces, moves 100 meters. The next compartment, having the education and the schoolmasters and the doctors, they also move 100 meters. And the politicians in the next compartment, they also move 100 meters. Everyone goes together and provide a peaceful and a secure carpet for normalcy to return.